afternoon, everybody. This is rather loud. Hello. Thank you for being here today. I'm Ronnie Hanneman, the Executive Director of the Carson City Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. Thank you. It's been an interesting 2 years, has it not? So I guess that's an understatement. But before we start our program, I would like to introduce some of our very special guests today. The first one, the ranking member here today, is Assemblyman P.K. O'Neill, who works hard to keep our city in the legislative forefront, sometimes against all odds, because as you know, we are sort of dominated by Las Vegas. So PK, you want to stand up for a second? Hard for him to stand up because he's having the operation. PK, that you did that very well. If you didn't hear, you just recently had a knee operation. There are many city department heads here who make our city run very smoothly. And if you could stand, please, be acknowledged, I would appreciate that. All right, come on, department heads, thank you. And then I'd like to introduce you to our, and please stand up, Chamber Board, and our Chair, Rob Joyner. Would stand, please. And we have a table dedicated to Carson's future leaders. Please stand, Leadership Class of 2022. Thank you. Normally, I would introduce our supervisors. However, I will let the mayor do that. So do not think that I have forgotten how important you guys are. And then there's all of you who run businesses, pay taxes, and make us all Carson proud. Thank you all for being here today. We really appreciate it. Please acknowledge our friends here at Southwest Gas who help support the event. We so appreciate everything Southwest has done for us, especially through the leadership program. They're the ones that built the bee habitat and all kinds of trails and all kinds of other things. Thank you very much, Southwest Gas. Can you stand up and be recognized, please? Thank you. In case you're wondering what these diploma things look like today, or what these things are, they are a map of Carson City in 1875. Very interesting, and you'll see on there that there was even a racetrack at the time, which is where the sheriff's office is today. And he can probably, do you have any ghosts or horses riding by your place? You said yes, okay. And then the new map of Carson City to show you how Carson City has grown, and we know that people have said, oh, there's nothing ever that happens here. This is a visual thing to show you. It really has, things really have happened. This event is being recorded, so make sure you look good and be available for all the residents to view on YouTube. And is being covered by the print media. We will send out the link when we receive it so you can review it again and to say, did they really, or did the mayor really say that? Yeah, we'll make sure that you know for sure. The Carson City Chamber first introduced the State of the City Address in 2010 to introduce chamber members and residents to its mayor and to hear firsthand the challenges and opportunities facing the city. The mayor in 2010 was Bob Quill, who provided a look at his first year in office and gave us his insight every year through, excuse me, I do not have COVID, through his 3 terms in office. We are especially pleased Mayor Badwell is continuing this tradition. Thank you so much, Mayor Badwell. Today I am proud to introduce you to Mayor Lori Badwell, who is the city's 7th mayor and only female elected since 1969 when the state became a consolidated municipality. She began her first mayoral term last January, thus is 1 year into her new role. She first served as city supervisor, so knew what she was getting into, right, Larry? When running for this office, and is today the city's top official. She's worked hard to attain this position and has had a long and illustrious career within state government from which she retired. She has and still serves on many local, state, and national boards. She also understands the challenges of running private business, having formerly owned and operated a local restaurant, which I'm sure you're happy during these past 2 years you no longer have. Mayor's Badwell has successfully been steering her city through this COVID storm that seems to be never ending. So without further ado, please welcome Carson City Mayor Lori Badwell.
Do you want to hold this, Lori, or do you want to do that? Okay. Changing of the guard.
Wow, I look out and just want to say thank you for coming. Really, it feels like all my friends, right? Can you all hear me? I just want to make sure. Yes? Okay, good. So I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event and Southwest Gas for their sponsorship. Please enjoy your dessert. We wouldn't have had any without them, so thank you. That's just a joke, but it was fun. It's hard for me to believe that I have been mayor for 1 year. When I campaigned, I indicated that customer service was an important requirement for me. I hope after my speech today that you agree your city has met this challenge big time. Your Board of Supervisors believes in this so much that they adopted this statement within our strategic plan. We value our residents, businesses, and visitors by committing to provide efficient and effective customer service. That's how important it is. I want to introduce those board members today. With us is Stacy Giomi from Ward 1. We have Maurice White from Ward 2. Maurice. Stan Jones, our Ward 3 supervisor. And Lisa Schutte from Ward 4. I feel so honored to work with this team. They each bring something different to the table, which I believe we make better decisions because of that. Oops, okay, you guys. Let's see if my technology works. Oh, first I got to give it some power. Ta-da! Okay, here we go. Carson City received over $10 million from the CARES Act federal funds to combat the coronavirus. We shared this funding with other entities within our community so that we could have a wide approach to combat the virus. We supported our hospital, school district, nonprofits, health and fire department salaries, and work from home initiatives. As part of this initial round of COVID funding, the Public Works Department also set up a program to help our businesses by providing protective equipment. We delivered over, I know you guys aren't going to believe me when I tell you these numbers, but we did, 200,000 masks, and here's the big one, 3.5 million gloves, and 1,800 gallons of hand sanitizer. We do have some supplies left if any of you businesses need a little bit more stuff, but it was important to this board that we help our businesses stay afloat during this time. We were recently awarded the American Rescue Funds from the federal government. We have to finish planning how we're going to spend this $20.7 million by 2024. So far, the board has allocated money to continue funding our health department staff who's assisting in the coronavirus fight. Might be here for a while still, I know. Providing up to $1.3 million to all of those nonprofits who aid those in our community. $3 million to improve our outdoor spaces to improve the quality of life for all residents of Carson City, and $5.4 million in needed infrastructure. What else did the federal government give us this last year? $3.7 million for our Jump Around Carson Transit System, also known as JACK, so we could buy some new buses. And $9.3 million raise grant, I think you've all been hearing about that in the news lately, for our East William Complete Streets project. In 2021, our executive office, which is led by Carson City Manager Nancy Paulson, if you rise please, that's right. They undertook a major project of completing the fiscal year 2022-2026 strategic plan. I hope you will take some time to review this on our website, or we could spend an hour or two doing that today. What do you guys think? Website? That's what I thought. We have been working with our congressional leaders to obtain additional funding for 5 projects: the Quill water treatment plant, safe routes to school improvements, a new fire station, South Carson area septic, this is a long one, conversion program, and the East William Complete Street project. We really have a good relationship with our congressional leaders, and they're really trying to do right by Carson City. In collaboration with Spectrum Charter, we have submitted a grant to bring critical broadband infrastructure to the Timberline and Lakeview subdivisions. During the coronavirus, they called often to tell me that their kids couldn't even do their homework. So we've selected this area to try and see if we can't help in that in the future. So we should hear about that grant next month or two. We also have worked with the Clerk Recorder's Office to create an online repository for easy access to find all the board resolutions. We found that a little challenging over the time to find rules from 1988. So it's like, uh-oh. So we have a great repository. You can now see them all. And I would be remiss if I did not take a moment to also introduce our Deputy City Manager, Stephanie Hicks. She's the one that always puts her hand up and says, I can do it. So thank you, Stephanie. Then lastly, in our city manager's office, we also have done a slight reorganization and created a government affairs liaison, PIO, to enhance our communications with the public and represent the city at the state legislature. I'm pleased to introduce Mr. Stephen Wood, who has taken on this role. Are these working? Okay, you guys tell me if the slides don't move, right? So you go, Lori, you're still on slide 1. Okay, if that wasn't enough, it's now time to begin the city's charter review process with an estimated completion date of July 2022 to submit possible amendments to the Nevada legislature. I can't believe we're already thinking of another legislative session, but we have to be way ahead of the game to submit bill requests. The citywide website refresh was implemented last year and will be completed in 2022 in order to assist in greater customer service and to enhance ADA accessibility. This task will be tackled by James Salanoa, standing up already, and our Community Relations Coordinator. And he is responsible, I'm going to admit it, it's not me. See all these pretty pictures? That's James. I liked him and asked for him, but he went and found them and did them all, so thank you very much. We are currently also working on a contract registry and index, which will be available on the Public Cities website for full transparency. We've taken on another large task this next year, which is to review our Carson City Municipal Code to find every fee and then make it into one revenue book so you, the public, can have an easy fee finder. Instead of you reading through thousands of pages of code, you'll be able to go to one document and find out how much it's going to cost you to do something wonderful. The city manager's office is also preparing a communications plan to define the messages, priorities, strategies, and tools with today's technologies that the city will use when communicating with the public. We've got to find some new ways. I'm constantly asked, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. If you have ideas, please let us know. We're trying to post everywhere, but there might be something out there we don't know about. And then every July, we are going to have an annual review of that strategic plan that I know you're all going to go read. I'm just positive. Each year so that we can see how we're doing and to really hold ourselves accountable, right? We make a strategy, we say we're going to do something, let's find out if we did it. So we're going to do that. And I know I'm now moving on to everyone's favorite subject, because it's certainly mine. This year, our finance department did an outstanding job. Sherry Russell, I think she's here, ladies and gentlemen. Our CFO, she takes her job very seriously. I think Sherry and I race every single day to see who can pinch the pennies more. Not sure who's winning. So each year, the city is required to be audited, and I'm so happy to let you all know we had no audit findings. This is a real feather in the city's cap. We are now considered a low-risk auditee, which translates to, my favorite subject, less costs for audits, right? We reduced our fees. We funded $10 million in capital projects to help meet the facilities assessment that was completed in fiscal year 2020, which I think staggered all of us on the board when we were looking at it. What's that say? $20 million in deferred maintenance that we needed to do. So I think getting $10 million done this year, we're halfway there. We're taking it seriously, and we're trying hard to update our buildings and keep them usable. I'm also pleased to say that we achieved a 10% rainy day savings account, which is a little over a month's operating savings. Our ultimate goal for this board is to reach 16%, or in terms that you might get, 2 months operating. We think we should have 2 months in the bank, just in case this next thing ever happens again. In 2006, the city received $26.8 million in consolidated taxes, mostly made up of your sales tax, which I think I saw the car dealership in here, Companion Auto Group, pretty sure I did. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone here, whether you know it or not, give them a big clap. We need cars, cars, cars. So in 2012, we only received $19 million. Whew, that was a reduction of $7.8 million. Yeah, you already know, that was rough. And I know it was for all of you as business owners too. If we're feeling it the city, we know you are too. But what happened this last year, probably a shock to each and every one of us on the board, probably to my penny pinching friend too, we hit an all-time high of $41.3 million in consolidated tax. That was a shock. Yesterday I heard Nancy tell me she was responsible for that because she has been shopping on Amazon. So I bring that. Okay. This year, with all our new federal funding, the finance department will be up to their neck in reports, 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 because everyone will want to know how we spent every penny. It's great to get all this federal money, but finance means, quarterly reports, quarterly reports. But she'll do a great job. We're also going to update our fraud, waste, and abuse policy. This was put in place in 2013 and has been working as intended. However, 10 years later, it's probably time to just dust it off and make sure we're doing everything right. It's very important that the public and employees have a place to report issues they see anonymously. It's very important to your entire board. She's also going to work on implementing software that allows you to see the city's budget on Carson.org, your favorite website. Our Community Development Department, which is led by Hope Sullivan, if Hope would, there you go. They were busy in 2021. We had over 101.6 million in building permit values. That's a lot of stuff going on. And 204 housing starts. They did numerous workshops, and planning commission meetings were held to begin the rewrite of what we call Title 18, which is your zoning ordinances. It is our hope that our code will become more readable and usable for our community. We anticipate this task will take us another year or so to complete. Ms. Sullivan has also started having quarterly meetings with the development community to facilitate policy discussions. This will help plan projects for the future and avoid surprises. I know none of us like those. So what's up for next year? Or, 2022, I guess we've changed the calendar year a little bit here, but we anticipate 783 housing units will be built in 2022. Border Crossing on the corner of Clearview and Silver Sage, 28 units. Lampa Apartments, 360 units. Silver Oak Townhomes, 52 units. Little Lane Apartments, 140 units. And the Anderson Ranch with 203 units. It's certainly our hope that this will help relieve some of the housing shortages in our community, and give people an opportunity to continue to live here if they choose. We'll be working with our Redevelopment Authority Citizens Committee to develop strategies for business retention and new investments over the next 10 years as our redevelopment districts funding will expire. We hope to streamline our special event permit processes to encourage more events. How many of you love those events that we have every year? Yeah, right? I think they're important for community. I just really, really do. So I hope all you do too. Our Carson City Master Plan was adopted in 2006. And while the vast majority is still valid today, it's important to review the plan to ensure that it continues to meet the community's vision and goals for the future. This project is expected to be completed by 2025. In Carson City, we are fortunate to have Nikki Aker, our Director of Health and Human Services, and her team. Okay, so you guys ready for these stats? Anybody want to tell me her team's not working hard? I got a challenge for you. They administered over 35,000 COVID vaccines, 2,700 tests, 1,500 flu vaccines, and how many sites do you all think they did that? How many different events to get that accomplished? 266 events. So they're out there. They're out there in the field. They're out there in the community. That's right. Thank you. While trying to keep up with the coronavirus demands, they didn't stop working on all their other things. They really worked on some other initiatives. So, this is not a bad news one, but vaping has become a major health concern for our youth. And we partnered with UNR's School of Public Health to develop educational material about the effects of vaping. So we're hoping by starting with education, we can talk those youth into, I think they already have to put them down because I sure see them everywhere, but we're starting in the education on vaping. They've already reorganized their environmental health pages, the people that go out and do inspections on your food and things like that, of the website, and they will finish all the other divisions within the next year or so. Okay, and what are they going to do for the future? Every 5 years, we have to update our community health needs assessment through a community-led process to assess the health of our community and identify gaps. This assessment will help the community create goals and objectives to improve the health outcomes of all of you. That document is the Community Health Improvement Plan. So if you ever hear us talking, for short, it's the CHIP. So if you want to understand, we have to do a CHIP every 5 years. I can't believe it's time to do this again. I still think it was yesterday. We're also going to do something new. We are developing a street squad program to restore dignity, inspire hope, and provide a pathway to recover from homelessness. We also added another MOST team to help combat homelessness and reduce the use of critical services such as the hospital. So we really look forward to this next year to see what impact we can have. The Board of Health recognized the importance of health in our community. So we adopted what's called a Health in All Policies approach as a strategy for the improvement of the health of all Carson City residents. For example, adopting a complete street policy will encourage people to bike and walk, right? How can you get healthy? Start biking, start walking. I probably need to practice that one. I'm not too good at it. But we are hoping that making a health statement about our policies as often as possible will encourage everyone to think of ways to improve your health. Okay, I got a whole bunch of phone calls about our $1.2 million ladder truck, also known as Truck 50. They saw that driving around the community. So here today to take a bow for that purchase is our very own Fire Chief, Sean Slayman. So what will this truck do for you? It will provide a 107-foot aerial ladder versus our engines, which only have a 24-foot ladder. Truck 50 carries foam for extinguishing fires. Another unique feature allows for greater maneuverability, allowing access to narrow driveways in apartment complexes and in the cul-de-sacs. So it really was an important apparatus, while admitted that Sherry and I were definitely worried about the pennies. It was very costly, but I think it was important for this safety feature for our community. The fire department engaged everyone to identify natural hazards and potential fixes for things such as floods, fires, earthquakes, and even pandemics. Based on the results, we have updated the city's hazard mitigation plan, which I know you're all going to guess this with me, has to be updated every 5 years. You guys are getting the message here. It's pretty good. The Carson City Fire Department also increased fire inspections by 77%. We added an additional staff person so that we could get in there and help the businesses. Again, nothing but safety on our minds. The fire department also launched some life safety programs in our elementary schools. They did a life and safety education for our kindergartners through third graders. Stop, drop, and roll. Don't play with matches. Might have to go all the way further than elementary school for that one. And implemented a cardiac care resuscitation protocol to increase survivability. This program is citywide. So our objective again, where can we put these, who can we train, and how can we save lives? Isn't this great customer service? Good job, fire department. Okay, looking forward, the fire department should be completing a design and working on the construction of a new fire department on Badwell Way on existing city property. So that should be coming forward here. He says yes. Yes. Okay, we heard it from him too, so it's a guarantee. Building off their successful launch from 2021, the fire department will expand on the fire and life safety programs taught at our elementary schools. They had so much fun with those kids, they recognized the value of those programs. Darren Schultz, our Director of Public Works, has had his work cut out for him this year. They had a very busy year of projects improving our streets, water, wastewater, stormwater, and trail systems, just to name a few things. So we finished the South Carson Complete Streets project, the adoption of the 2050 Regional Transportation Plan. Okay, that's the only one that's not 5 years. That one's 30. It's like, what? Okay. We finalized our reuse master plan, completed Well 3 redrill and rehab project, installed 4 permanent generators at the well sites, And almost completed is our Kings Canyon Road and Trail Improvement Project. They're also almost done with the Curry Street project. But it doesn't stop there. What do they have launching in this next year? The East William Complete Street project with approximately $21.3 million. Don't forget to follow us on carsonproud.com. You guys getting all our website technological tools we've been I'm trying to plant more seeds out there, but you also on that one can go and comment and tell us what you think of the project. What do you think we need to solve for, right? And the Public Works will take all of those comments when they're trying to do the final design for that project. We're going to finish that, this one was good. It was only 12 phases, but we're finally going to be finished with the septic tank conversion program. It's about $4.2 million. We're going to work on the Quill water treatment plant upgrade. That's about $12.5 million. We're going to increase production from 1.5 million gallons per day to 6 million gallons per day. Isn't that something? This is going to allow us to treat water that we already own, so it will be safe to drink. They're also going to re-drill and rehab well 4 for about $1.2 million. So busy, busy, busy team. Our Parks and Recreation, and I gotta say the whole thing, and Open Space Department was impacted greatly by COVID, as they rely upon volunteers and inmate labor to maintain our parks and trail system. Jennifer Budge, our director, yeah, and her staff have worked so hard to keep this all going with such help shortages, right? It's like, uh-oh, I think I saw some people on some lawnmowers that aren't normal to be on the lawnmower. I'm not so sure they cut as straight as some of the lines I've seen on other parks, but they really jumped in and did a good job. So I really want to give them a good shout out there. In 1996, Carson City residents approved a 0.25% sales tax increase to fund the acquisition, development, and maintenance of parks, open space, trails, and recreation facilities. In November, we celebrated 25 years of this quality of life initiative, which was also known as Question 18. I'm sure all of you recognize the wonderful quality of life projects funded with this money. And go ahead, many of you I can see were here in 1996. Give yourself a round of applause for being so forward-thinking to know how important parks are to our quality of life. And a big shout out, oh, hey, I'm aligned, this statement's gonna work. A big shout out to Carson Tahoe Hospital for providing funding for recreational programs, including the pictured kayaks. How many of you wanna sign up this summer to take that program? I'm in, right? So please check our stuff at the, okay, go to the website and check out how you can sign up. As we also promised, we improved the rifle and pistol range, which I don't think people understand how much this park is used. 13,000 users of this, 13,000. In 2021, unfortunately, we had a fire on Prison Hill. Stan and I live pretty close to that, so we got to watch it right out our front door. But I want to just say we already have it reseeded, right? That's pretty good to have a fire and already reseed it, so we can get that brought back to its splendor. What is Parks and Recreation going to look forward to doing next year? More volunteer engagement, making infrastructure updates and improvements to our aging park facilities. Hoping to do some tennis courts and some pickleball courts if those prices will come down a little bit. It's been a little tough out there, but we're going to keep on trying so we can get that accomplished. But we will next year add an ADA accessible playground at Blackwell's Pond. They may be seniors, but not our director, Courtney Warner. Courtney, I know she's here. I think Courtney really helps our seniors stay young at heart. Last year, they donated 368 fans during the summer to those in need, provided 45,000 meals through a drive-through program, delivered 106,000 meals to seniors in their homes, and they added a to-go lunch option for those who didn't want to eat in the dining room because of fears of COVID. And they provided 651 Christmas gifts to seniors. What are they going to do for next year? They got some big plans here. They're going to modernize their food service line to allow a second protein choice. That's going to be a first to allow seniors to pick a different item for lunch. That's great. They're going to remodel their west bathrooms for easier access. They're going to look for ways to increase outreach to the senior community and expand services to meet the changing senior population. I might be getting there. Somehow that 60-year-old birthday's coming up. Scary. And our newly hired Marlena Stone. She's taken on the challenge of Director of Alternative Sentence. She and her team are working hard to improve the lives of those with court-ordered conditions. It is our hope, with direction and supervision, that these individuals can change and lead a rewarding and productive life. Last year, we implemented improved smartphone monitoring for drug testing in the field. This new technology has proven to be very efficient. We now drug test 7 days a week. Last year, we performed 7,881 tests, of which 1,205 were positive, or a little over 15%. The trends in these positive tests were THC, amphetamines, and alcohol. But I guess another way to look at this is 85% were successful in meeting their court-ordered condition of staying clean. I believe it means our drug and mental health courts are doing a fantastic job. We provided crisis intervention training to all alternative sentencing staff, not just our officers, as we recognize our case managers and clerical staff also come in contact with stressful situations. It's important we do all we can to reduce stress in the workplace. So what do you think Marlene is going to be up to this year? She's going to continue to introduce monitoring and check-in technology that will provide real-time tracking and professional monitoring services with advanced data analytics. We also have some new kiosks that will provide those smartphone technology updates, appointment options, and that purpose is to limit the foot traffic in the lobby at the courthouse. She's going to work on developing and implementing some pretrial services. Can you believe how much? This is unbelievable. They supervise, on average, 281 cases on pretrial and 336 with bail conditions each year. Lastly, she's going to work to implement the framework to support case management services for our formal probation. She currently has about 250 cases of that and has averaged it for the last 3 years. We currently have case management services for our specialty clients, the drug court, mental health, but not for our probation clients. So she's interested in taking those good successes and moving them over to our probation side. Like many of our employers, we found it necessary to attend job fairs to recruit new employees. I think we're all seeing that lately, the difficulty. But not only that, our very own Human Resources Director, Melanie Briquetta, is an outstanding trainer at the Nevada Post, helping all public safety agencies. Thank you again for that. Carson City is the 4th largest employer in our area, with 627 full-time employees and 256 part-timers. I'm not sure the Human Resources Department was pleased with their newest assignment this last year of coordinating the Nevada Day Parade entry for the city. But once it happened, they're already planning 2022. How did you all like the Air Force Band from the Golden West in our Nevada Day Parade? Weren't they fantastic? I have to joke because I did get an email from one of Melanie's staff that says, we'll do it again as long as you give us the band again. So I thought, oh, they want music. So that was fun. And what are they going to do in 2022? They're going to continue providing great service to our employees. And they're also always looking for ways to reduce our insurance costs, saving both the taxpayers and employees money. It's an important role. And this is one of those departments, if I'm real honest with each of you, right? I don't want to hear from them. This is the one that's no news is good news. If the human resource department's running well, we're in good shape. But I do like to talk to her and see her smile. And finally, the team that makes it all happen. This is led by Frank Abella and his new management team, the IT department. Okay, you guys ready for this? They integrated software that tracks real-time awareness and intrusion detection notifications with off-site management capabilities. They also integrated artificial intelligence to evaluate these threats. They emphasized infrastructure awareness, mapping, and integration of vulnerability management, which reduces the city's risk to protect all of your customer data. Okay, the first one of you that can repeat what I said will get C's gold coins, because I will share money. Yep, I will admit to you all, I had to practice this slide a couple of times. Okay, so what are their priorities for this coming year? They're going to modernize our network to minimize the downtime and increase security. They want to have our systems up 99.9% of the time to prevent any delays in serving you, the customer. And they're going to increase security system management to respond to threats. I wish that weren't the case, and I wish we didn't have to spend money on threat software, but I know you all listen to the news and hear all that's out there. I think as soon as we figure something out, they're crafty to figure out another way to come into our computer systems. So Frank and his team are really working hard to not let that happen. So I want to take a moment to go on record to say how lucky we are in Carson City to have such a wonderful team of elected officials. We work so well together for the benefit of our community. I know you all will agree with me that Sheriff Furlong, come on, has done a great job keeping our community safe. Thanks to our DA's office for helping keep our city agencies on the right legal path as we all work to accomplish the city's objectives, and for providing victims of crime a powerful voice in the criminal justice process. He's not here, but let's clap for him anyway, because he's doing a great job. And I did not pre-tell him, but I do see him here because of that lame chamber leadership class. But Andrew Razor, come on, stand up. Our treasurer. Yep. He's worked very hard to learn every aspect of the job. I gotta tell you guys, it's really amazing when I walk into City Hall, I often see Andrew helping the customers himself at the window. It's really refreshing to see someone there just really caring. So thank you, Andrew. Our assessor, Dave Dolly, has successfully implemented a new property assessment software package as the previous one was no longer supported. Whew. That was an undertaking. You just, tons of records to convert. So nice job to our assessor's office. Our clerk recorder, Aubrey Roulette, she worked tirelessly to conduct an election with changing rules and little time to implement. Carson City is in good hands. We have a great clerk recorder's office. I hope that we have proven to you our commitment to customer service. In closing, I want to thank you all for your attention, for caring about the community you live, work, and play. If I can ever be of service, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'm so honored to be your mayor. Thank you. Okay. Who wants to talk here?
Lori, as your humble liege, on behalf of the Executive Board of the Chamber of Commerce, we thank you so much for your presentation today. And even more so throughout the year, I can't believe it's just been a year. You've attended our coffee with the mayor on a regular basis, providing the same kind of information that you saw today. And more so, you were open to questions, and you were so just generous with your thoughts and time. We just so appreciate it. And it just makes us all appreciate the fact that with your leadership and the managers in this room, you make this community, Carson, proud. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I'll just say one thing. We are definitely the A-team community. Are we? Huh? Because it takes all of you to make it good. Thank you. Who wants the chocolate? It is these candies. Oh.
She's staging us now.
Shh. Don't tell anyone when you see the picture on one of those websites. Oh.
Thank God, PK, I've had both my knees done.
Okay. And I meant it seriously. If I can be of help, give me a call.